Hello, I am Ashley, and today I'm going to be doing just my weekly update. So I just want to, this is like, oh man, I don't know, the energy I'm feeling just is different, odd. Um, so now we're just gonna have some talks, do some tarot. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's just like the perfect day to sit and talk to my guides. Um, it's really crazy. It's like as soon as I pick up my tarot deck, it's like they're just right there, right there. So I love to connect with my tarot in the morning because I just like make contact with my you know my guides and my angels right away. So it's a very valuable like resource and tool in my opinion, and learning it has been very helpful for me. And developing my intuition and my contact with them to be able to communicate and feel like guided and supported. Um, Whereas like without their support, like I struggle to feel like support externally. So um, I just place all my focus on feeling supported inward, like inside of myself, within my own being, by my own intuition, by my own senses, and that can be really challenging to like shift your entire belief system from relying on the outside to feel safe. Because what happened for me is my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Like the first thing that happened was like my whole sense of like security or like foundation was just like crumbled in front of me. So it was like what I've been learning to do is how to feel safe within my own self, like how to feel stable within myself um, without my father, like being my stability. It's like a very patriarchal mindset, and so like learning how to operate and live on this in this world on my own terms, on my own through my own understandings of life, instead of like the beliefs that were instilled in me from like my childhood and from my upbringing. So it's been really crazy because I'm so thankful for the experience because I see how my life could have turned out. Like when I look back and see like the kind of relationship I could have attracted by the beliefs I formed watching my parents relate, um, it feels like a saving, like it saved my life, and it saved me from like um, I don't know myself, I guess, really because I was my own worst enemy, and it really just helped me to shift my beliefs around love and relationships, and now like I see myself on this completely different path, and it's kind of intimidating because it's like I don't know anything about this. I don't know, like healthy reciprocal relating is like foreign to me. So whereas we believe that kind of like relating is like more like normal and we should feel loving and we should feel like taken care of and we should feel supported, we should feel safe in our own bodies, but that the reality is that there's so many other people that are actually believing that love is pain, that love is attachment, that love is suffering, that love is, abuse, that it's manipulation, that it's, and that feels more normal because maybe that's how they were raised. And so I can just see how I've kind of like shifted from going in one direction of my life to completely altering my path by shifting my beliefs around love and relationships and money especially too, which is the hardest one for me, honestly. I have a really horrible mindset towards money, and so that can keep me stuck in poverty consciousness. So what I really have to do is at least just watch um, my dialogue and my thought process about money, or like how I react. It's like studying myself, because lately I found like who am I and like what am I doing and why am I here. I get to certain levels where I'm asking that question again because it feels like, okay, like what am I really doing here? It's like another level, another layer, another, more growth. And so it just requires you to ask more questions, to get more like to go deeper even within your soul. It can be such a scary time because it's like that's a really hard question to ask yourself. Why am I here? Why am I here? What am I doing with my time? What am I doing with the people that I'm around? What am I doing, like, am I using the time that I have here like valuably? And so I always have to ask myself that. And like, what am I doing? Like, and those could be hard questions to ask yourself. And Then to get really honest with yourself has really this taught me how to be like really compassionate with myself and how to see that like I was only ever doing the best I could at any given moment. I still am. Like I'm only doing the best I can with the resources I have, with the knowledge I have, with my own beliefs, with my own intuition, with my own wisdom, and I just continue to rely on that versus how it looks to other people or how it looks to society or how it looks to my parents, and that's really the hardest, how it looks to my family. Um, like how it looks to other people, like and you have to literally like not care but care at the same time. Like you just have to be true to yourself, you have to be true to your heart. um yeah, you really just have you learn how to be like your own number one fan. But the greatest thing about that is like when you become your own number one fan, you want to be everybody else's fan, you want to cheer everybody on, you want everybody, you want to like make them believe that they can do it too, and so that's really inspiring. But also at the same time, I honestly can't believe this is my life and this is who I am and this is what I've like who I've become from just by learning more about who I am and how much I truly love and care about myself now versus before. I guess I don't know. It's like what is before? Just like for me, it all feels the same. Like I've just been um, shifting, like growing internally. I guess like just really studying my own psyche. I guess. Just by observing my behavior, observing my reactions to things, observing mostly my emotions and the the feelings they create in my body, and figuring out like, okay, where do I have tension and why am I holding tension here? Because I believe that we have like cellular memory, so we store like memory in our bodies, in our cells, and so we don't like I can even feel it now, like releasing the energy from my like body. And then like watching how those emotions react with my thoughts, just like using like shifting seeing how shifting my thoughts creates different reactions in my body. That's why I love meditation, because I can sit in meditation, I can create the feeling I want, and I can begin to feel it in my body as if it's already happening. um, and then it begins to like form more firmly in your mind. But the more you begin to meditate on like feelings that feel good, the more you begin to mold and reshape like your emotional body. And so, what most emotions, like the most familiar emotions to me, were like sadness and loneliness or despair, like depression. Like those feelings were really familiar to me, and so those became normal for me. They became comfortable. They became my identity. And so I was really sad, and I was like, but I also pretended to be like super happy, or like not that I was completely miserable, I guess, but I just didn't feel. I felt this is what I felt, and this is a feeling that has come back recently for me to deal with. Is like feeling so uncomfortable in my own skin, like feeling so uncomfortable with who I was, like that because I was repressing my emotions. I was repressing who I was in order to be liked, in order to fit in order to be cared for, in order to be taken, in order to be receive love. Especially as children, will deny certain aspects of ourselves in order to receive the love that we're so desperately, seeking from our caregivers. But they can only love us at the level they love themselves. So then, like, not blaming or judging, but seeing it through the eyes of compassion, and then learning to just do it for yourself. And then it's great because then you can teach them, you can show them kind of like, this is how I needed to be loved, and this is how you should have been loved too. And then like giving them that love that um, they never got from the people that they needed it from most too, and then seeing them as yourself. And when you can see them as yourself, then you can just empathize with them, and you're not judging them anymore, because they are you, and that's who everyone is. We're all parts of each other. So anyway, that's what I've been feeling like. Because I feel like the opposite of that now. Like I feel so good in my own skin. Like I feel so confident. I feel so strong. I feel so like safe in who I am. Like I trust my heart. I trust my intuition. Like there are some days where I have lots of doubt, but it's like no. Like I'm for sure. I know. And I've received so many signs and synchronicities. Like I just am trusting in the universe. I'm trusting myself mostly. And I think that was the biggest lesson of all, is learning how to trust myself again. Like learning how to trust me, learning to trust my heart over trusting the outside, over trusting the world. Of stop placing so much value, so much um, like requirement on the outside to validate you. That's the whole thing, is like self-validation, learning how to validate yourself. And when like you're doing it from yourself and you no longer require it, it's nice, and you do receive it from other people, but it's not like um, required in order for you to um, keep going. It's just something that comes with um, learning how to trust yourself over what anyone else has to say, or like how other people perceive you, because you can't control that. All that matters is how you perceive yourself. Everybody's going to perceive you differently, and it's not your like job to change how they see you. It's only your job to be true to who you are. And then like your character just speaks for itself. There's no need to like defend yourself. And that's another thing, is a lot of people get very defensive, and that's just from our own, like, from being vulnerable and being open, and sharing like the deepest parts of ourselves, parts of us that make us feel really weak, that make us feel really judged, or shameful, or and like learning to accept that part of yourself and validate that part of yourself. Like, okay, I was just on a walk yesterday actually, and I was feeling a lot of anger. And so like anger has always been like such a like don't go there emotion, like don't feel your anger, like. And so for me, like, I can disown this part of me, but then it just like builds up within inside of me, and so then I had to deal with it, obviously. And I've just found better ways to help me cope with those things, like running, for example. That helps me with my anger, because I went on a run yesterday, and I was walking home, and um, I was having a very vulnerable moment, and I felt this like little child. It was like a little version of me in my left hand as I was walking, and I was holding this little version of me's hands, this little angry version of me. And I was holding her hand, and I was just like accepting of her, and I was just understanding of her, and I was like just trying to be in that moment, and like I could feel the anger move through my body, and I felt it, but I was holding this little angry Ashley's hand, and I was like talking to her and like soothing her, like, and that's what my soul has done. My soul has come and helped me how to like as I began to awaken, it's like helped me to um take care of myself. It's the oddest thing. It's like it just like taught me how to take care of these little parts of me that were like wounded, and that just needed love, and that's what I love about Jesus too, because and Archangel Michael, because they help with the inner child, to help those parts of the inner child that want to be seen, and they help you to really heal that part of you. So yeah, I'm just feeling a lot of that. Like, I'm just watching things kind of like come, like, I don't know, it feels like a cycle is like wrapping up or something. I don't know what it is, but anyway, let's get to some tarot. What do we need to know right now? Okay, Seven of Cups. So this is feeling okay, this card always feels like a card of emotional like overwhelm. I'm not sure what direction to go in, or like there's a lot of options. There's a lot of directions this could go. Kind of like I was speaking of, like when you begin to heal yourself, and I felt my life has gone in two different directions now. So it's like I see it as like you have this like path that's destined for you that you created before birth, whether you believe that or not. Like this is just what I recall, or what I have remembered as I began to awaken, and it's just like, or things that have resonated with me. But every decision, every free will choice we make, either keeps us on the path of our destiny, or it like deters us from the path. And with every choice we make a little, and we get we turn here and we turn there, but the more we begin to awaken, we want to go back to our destined path. And so what we have to begin to do is like kind of like backtracking and making new choices that kind of lead you back to your path. And so it can go in so many different ways, because in each moment, you're reshaping the outcome. And so the outcome could be so, it's like I hear the word malleable. So it's like it can be so, like nothing's set in stone. Like, so with each decision, it could bring something. So it's like you use this feeling of like emotional overwhelm. Like, I don't know what way to go. It's like a kind of a feeling of indecision. And like I also love, because this card always has the shadow on it, and I was feeling like the shadow aspect. So sometimes like these are just also spiritual tests sometimes too, to see like what decisions we're going to make based on the information we've retained from the last cycle. You know, like it's just like a test of your abilities, your test of your knowledge, the test of your wisdom that you've attained from the previous cycle. Whatever that is for you, it could be so many different things for so many different people. Like it could be a test in boundaries, you know, it could, and that's what we had recently. The last couple of weeks has been boundaries, are speaking your truth, or there's just so many different ways that it could go. And then your shadow comes up and tries to like, you just might have a lot of anxiety or a lot of fears that come up, and that's just helping you to, you feel any lower based emotions, they're just coming up to be cleared, to be cleansed, because a lot of this is like, uh, yeah, there's just so many different options. Like, which way will you choose? That's what I hear. Okay, what else though about this? Do we know what this Seven of Cups? King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this is also just about like making, because I was kind of feeling like confidence, making decisions based from your value, like how you value yourself. And like if you're not being treated with the respect that you feel you deserve, or, you know, you have to be able to set a boundary and walk away from certain things, or walk in a direction that yields more respect, more, yeah, just like taking action, because that's what the king does. He takes action from a place of self-respect. That's what I see the King of Pentacles as. It's like, because that determines your value and how you allow yourself to be treated, how you allow yourself to be like spoken to. Because I know there's a lot of people like, men and women both, because this could represent, this is just the part of us within us that takes action from a place of confidence, from a place of self-esteem, from a place of self-worth. So it's like moving in the direction of your self-worth, like what makes you feel valuable, and moving in that direction. So if you find you're in situations where, you know, you're not being treated with respect, it's about like taking action on whatever you need to do. Like this could just be taking action on reevaluating your beliefs. Okay, what else about this King of Pentacles though? Okay, Nine of Swords. I think this came up last week too. So this is like just feeling a lot of anxiety, nightmares, just like insomnia, not being able to sleep, like just being extremely worried. There's a lot of fear. I can feel that actually in energy right now. I do feel there's a lot of fear. It's like really believing that you're worth it, that you're valuable, just as you are. Okay, interesting. What are we not seeing clearly? Because this could relate, I'm getting this could relate to not just like your own self-worth, but also finances. Like this could be like in the physical, because this is the king, so it's like in the physical world. So, and also because I was saying like how you relate to the to the material realm, like what are your beliefs about that? Because the King of Pentacles is, it's stability, and so like where does your sense of safety come from? Like reevaluating that, like does it come from like money? Do you believe that if you have a lot of money that you're stable? You know, like do you believe that if you have like, if you're a woman and you have a man in your life that's your stability, you know? Or if you have a home, is that your stability? It's like really learning how to find that stability within yourself, and that reflects your like in your finances, you know? So if you don't if you don't value yourself and you don't respect yourself, then you tend to not make decisions that align with respect. And so, it's like you always want that respect, but you keep needing mirrors to teach you how to respect yourself. And instead, if you don't do that, otherwise you can blame. And that's a very like sacral chakra. Like that's what I'm kind of picking up on, is the sacral chakra. Like you want to blame other people for not like respecting you or treating you with the respect that you deserve, but it's also just them mirroring to you your own lack of self-respect, and learning how to take action from a place of self-respect. And what can I do to take action in my life where I'm not being treated with respect? That means like, especially because the King of Pentacles represents the physical to me, so that always represents the body too. And taking care of your body, respecting your body. So how can you take action to respect your body in new ways? Because as you begin to see that, especially in men, as they begin to like, and this goes for women too, because as men and women, as they begin to respect themselves and they respect their bodies and they take care of their bodies, and they're not just like eating whatever they want without even thinking about it, or like having sex with whoever they want without even thinking about it, like really respecting your body. And as you begin to do that, you actually begin to attract people in your lives that respect you. Just like I was saying, if I would have not been blessed with this spiritual awakening, I have to see it as a blessing now, that I would have probably ended up in a relationship where I was not treated very well. Like I would have not been respected because I didn't respect myself. And so what I've had to learn is how to respect myself, and how to take care of myself, how to take action from a place of, self-respect, and so that I could have that reflected back to me. And like, and this could be in like business terms or in like, relationship terms, it's just like, and like even in home, because the King of Pentacles could represent like home too, just like the physical. Like, what are we not seeing clearly? The Lovers. I love it. This could represent Gemini. I love this. I'm just feeling this energy of like teamwork and working together, because I love it's like the masculine, feminine, and then spirit, like the three. And I love the little like mountain there. And the sun. Like I really like that. Yeah, I just really like this card. It just represents like balance. I'm feeling like a very harmonious energy actually, as I'm feeling it, like my heart is expanding. So that's like the what's what we're not seeing clearly. What else? What else with the Lovers? Yes, Knight of Swords. Okay, so this is about like moving really quickly or moving rapidly, or but also I'm getting it's like this energy of like healing this like communication, like this harsh communication or like miscommunication. I just hear the word miscommunication. But this could also be like rushing impulsively. I don't know, what else is this about? Because it's kind of running, like if you look at the cards, like right at the, what else is this Knight of Swords about? Okay, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm getting this energy of like harsh communication, because of this energy of like being closed off. That's so weird, because I was totally feeling the opposite when I felt the Lovers card. It was like this heart expanding, but this is like being really attached to the material world, like being attached to status, to the way things look, to the outside, to how everybody else perceives you, instead of feeling like this is just feeling this energy of stuck and it's like closed off. He has like, this card always represents like choosing like the outside over the inside, like choosing money over love, or choosing fear over love. It's just like closing yourself off. That's very interesting, because I'm feeling two opposite energies. I feel this one energy of this very hard expanding, and this very energy of like contracting. But that's okay, because especially when you're in, like, if this is about like a certain relationship, when you're like mirroring energy to one another, it's like it can go back and forth until you like recognize the pattern and stop it. Otherwise it'll keep going. Like if you keep going, like especially the fear, when you mirror fear, like, so you have to just get really good at like managing your own fear, taking care of your own fear, because you'll feel it in the other person. You'll feel like fear triggered, or like you'll feel this like constriction. You'll feel it. And so what you have to learn is just to be able to take care of yourself and like stabilize your own energy and recognize that, like, because you'll be feeling stable, and then it's just like this energy of like closed off, and that's okay. You have to be like open to like knowing that when you're expanding and you're expanding into new energies of love, it's going to make you feel anxious because it's something you've never experienced before. And it can make you kind of like be very vulnerable, and so you want to just kind of close off, which is like, and it's not anything to be ashamed of. It's not anything to like rush past, or like, especially if you're just beginning to recognize these patterns within yourself. It's about learning how to be gentle with yourself in those times when you feel like you need to stay stuck, because you're just doing it in order to, protect yourself. So like you have to just begin to see yourself as a child, Okay, that's very interesting. What is your advice? is your advice for us? Okay, Five of Cups. This is some harsh energy. But it's weird because it's kind of like not the energy I'm feeling. Like, I'm feeling this energy of like, I don't know. I feel like grief though, just because this is part of like grief and loss. Um, is a catalyst into divine love, you know, into a higher power, and that's why I guess I don't know. I'm just feeling like I don't know. It is this energy of like loss. So it's like allow yourself to grieve. What else is this about? Because there are still two cups. Like instead of like focusing just on like, okay, it's like this energy of like instead of focusing on what you may be losing, focusing on what you're going to be gaining. Like you're going to be gaining self-respect. Stop looking at what you might be losing, like status wise, or how it might look to other people. Yeah, you might lose, I don't know, money. You might lose like a title. You might lose whatever it is. But it's like instead of focusing on what you may be losing, like these three spilt cups, focus on like turn around. Hello, you still got two cups over here. You have some self-respect and you have integrity. And you got some love. Okay, we'll do self-respect. You got self-respect and you got love. Okay, what else is your advice with this Five of Cups? Sometimes my guides just make me laugh. It's so weird. Okay, yes, I love it. The King of Cups. Focus on love. Love, like focus on, you know, the King of Cups. He's super intuitive. He's super loving. He's super like soft. He's gentle. You need to tap into this gentle part of yourself and be kind with yourself. Um, yeah, I really like the King of Cups. Oh yes, with the Five of Cups. So it's like feel your emotions. Okay, I'm getting emotional healing too, especially with the Five of Cups and the King of Cups. That's what I'm getting though too, because it's like this grief or this loss is helping you reconnect with your King of Cups energy. Because we all have this within us. This could be for men or women too. So don't like, um, it doesn't matter. Like gender does not apply here. And I love there's a ship in the background. I never really noticed that. There's a ship back there. I love that. I always see ships as like synchronicities. So, aw. What else is your advice? I'm just getting a very gentle, sweet energy with this King of Cups. That's what I'm kind of saying. Aw. All right. What else is your advice with the King of Cups here? Yeah, like it's just this gentle energy. Yes, I love this. It's like um, Nine of Cups. This is totally the card of self-respect. This is like feeling super good on your own, like feeling self-efficient, self-reliant, feeling very worthy, feeling very valuable, feeling very appreciative, feeling very abundant. She's like in this garden and she's got like um, everything she needs. I love though, I've always noticed on here there's like this little tiny snail. So it just reminds you of like going really slow and like being really gentle with yourself, especially with the King of Cups. And if you're going through a lot of loss, a lot of grief, if you are experiencing a lot of um, heavy emotions, like I said, it is like you're purging them to reunite you with your heart, which would be the very King of Cups. It's like this is a very like romantic energy too, like romantic and like loving and just I just love the energy I'm getting from it. It's just funny. Yeah, very lighthearted too. The King of Cups is, in my opinion, like a softy kind of. Yeah, but this is what actually makes you very strong and very reliant and resilient is like your heart and relying on your emotions to guide you. I really like that. And then underneath the deck, I like this because it's the the Eight of Swords, which is like kind of feeling trapped or feeling bound. But it's like I just hear like free yourself. That's what I heard right away. And then the Page of Cups is like keep your heart open, stay soft, stay innocent. I love the Page of Cups. Stay pure. Look at things through the eyes of love, like and innocence. And then the Queen of Cups, which I love that because we did have the King of Cups. So this is like the counterpart kind of. Well, not kind of, it is. And this is just like really like romancing yourself. I always see the Queen of Cups as that. It's like being your own lover, feeling really emotionally balanced and stable within yourself, like feeling very intuitive, like very loving too and romantic. And then the Ace of Pentacles, which I love because this is like a new solid beginning, like in the physical. Like this could be like a career opportunity, or even marriage. I see that kind of always when, or like like partnership. I always see that with the little bridge here, like walking into a new beginning kind of there. I don't know why, but that's so cute. And then the Eight of Wands, which I like because this is like rapid and um, rapid alignment. So things aligning a lot quickly, like very quickly. And then, even perfect. I had to do two more because it's the Five of Pentacles, which has been coming up a lot in this feeling like I left out in the cold, or like healing this abandonment wound. But I love because after the abandonment wound, after the Five of Pentacles comes the Sun. So it feels, because this is like the darkest, coldest night, like feeling like, great, because this time of year always reminds me of like, I've spent a lot of lifetimes as like a home, like homeless and on the streets, because I had really low self-esteem, really no self-worth at all. I didn't believe I was worthy, and that's why, especially like the homeless feels like part of my purpose. Because it was like this feeling of being left out in the cold, and I remember like shaking. I hate this time of year because it gets really cold, and I go instantly to the people that are sleeping outside, and I just can't. I don't know. It just evokes a lot of emotion in me, which when I feel that passionately about something or that strongly about something, I know that it's part of my purpose. And so, yeah, that's why I give thanks a lot around this time of year, like just being thankful. Like I'm sleeping on a couch right now, and I just couldn't be more thankful that I have a place to sleep, because I could be sleeping outside on the cold ground, like. So learning how to give thanks, and those are like learning how to take action steps from a place of self-worth, is when you have gratitude and when you have appreciation, which is totally this Nine of Pentacles too. It's like finally appreciating, like giving thanks for your body, especially the King of Pentacles, like giving thanks for your body, giving thanks for your home. Yeah, and this really creates like a shift. And like, because I've been walking around and I do get chilly, and I keep saying, I am the sun, I am the warmth. And it's funny because when I said I am the sun, like instantly I felt Jesus come to me, and he always walks with me, and he's like my inner flame, and so I'm always like feeling warmed by his energy. And yeah, so I tell myself, I repeat those mantras a lot, that I am the sun, I am the warmth, I am the flame, I am the light. Like I said, this time of year it also does and it triggers those past life memories of those times that I've spent on the streets, and that's what also leads me to like feeling so strongly about, I don't know, I guess I need to be more active in that area, I guess, because I feel so strongly about it. All right, so what do we need to know with this Seven of Cups? I like these cards a lot. That's so crazy that I was just saying that, because it says be in service with the Seven of Cups. So like really following your passion, being in service. Like if you feel very passionately about something, like moving towards that, whatever makes you feel very valuable. I always really like these cards. What else do we need to know with the King of Pentacles? It's like doing what makes you feel valuable. Yes, amplify your positive emotions. I like the little ripples there, and the little wings. So it's like oh my gosh, that was at 3333. Was positive, like amplify your positive emotions. So I like that. So and that is about taking care of your body, in my opinion. So, releasing your emotions. That's the King of Pentacles. Focusing on your body, doing what makes you feel good, be in service. What about this Nine of Swords here? Yes, I love this. Trust your own understanding. Exactly, kind of like what I was saying. When you're like reparenting yourself and changing your beliefs, kind of in the beginning, it's like learning how to trust your own understanding, your own beliefs based off your own emotions and your own knowings, rather than just like from society or like what we've been taught it's supposed to look like, especially like relationships or career. The whole paradigm is shifting. And so I really like this card because she's like taking the mask off, and she's seeing things from a higher perspective, and she's flying above with these butterflies. I really like that. That's 2 5 cards. Be in service was 41, and 32 is 5. So that's number of change. Again, balance. Okay, what are we not seeing clearly with the Lovers? Infinite blessings. I always like this one too, and I like that it's winter. And it's like snowflakes falling, and that's also number 8, which I always love because it's like the infinity symbol. I like that, like being blessed with love, especially as you embody the energy of love and you feel whole within yourself. Like then you attract blessings, you know. What about this Knight of Swords? Renewal of peace. I like that there's another little snail on this card too. I like it though. Like I feel like this energy of like needing to rest, needing to like nurture yourself, needing to ground yourself, like letting yourself grow. Kind of like, oh, and I love like there's all these little animals watching over this little baby. So there's this energy of like, well, Spirit wants me to mention, like there's just guides around you. Even if you could feel them as animals too, maybe. There's just these guides that are with you that are really nurturing you, and so you can really lean into their energy if you're feeling any like harshness, especially the Knight of Swords. If you want to like, and watch how you communicate to other people. If you're communicating harshly to others, like, it's about like reflecting inward. And where are you being hard on yourself? Where do you need to be more gentle, like the King of Cups towards yourself? Like where can you be? Yeah, it's more peaceful. Where can you be more compassionate with yourself? What about this Four of Pentacles? Yes, love this card. Heighten your vitality. Love that. So yeah, to get unstuck, like heighten your vitality. It's just like this energy of stuck. When you're stuck in the same place, you know, you feel this energy of like boredom or just like you have to do something to raise your vibration. To also amplify your positive emotions. This could be like singing or dancing or, you know, whatever gets you pumped up. I don't know. Just do anything that excites you. Get out of a funk, dance. Maybe I already said that, but put this kind of stuff here. What is your advice with this Five of Cups? The big picture. Yeah, because that's what I was kind of feeling like. It's like recognizing that, yeah, you're feeling this loss, you're feeling this grief, but like you're seeing it from a higher picture. It's like, yeah, not getting so caught up in the emotions, feeling more emotionally balanced, because that's the King of Cups. He's emotionally balanced. He doesn't let his emotions like overtake him. So I really like that. Or her, you know, gender does not apply. But I just like saying him and her, I don't know. So that's kind of the energy that just speaks to me from the cards. What is this King of Cups about? Expansion. Yes, I love that. And this is one of my favorite cards. I love the hot air balloons. And I love this because the hot air balloons are actually carrying ships. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard. I just love the little details in this card. The little hummingbird. Like I said, you might be seeing animals too. Maybe you're dreaming about animals. There's this little couple I've ever noticed down here on this little like beach. And there's hands and this castle and waterfalls and rainbows and a deer. So yeah, you might just be seeing spirit animals. I'm getting. And what about this Nine of Pentacles? Yes, exactly. I love this empowerment. This is another one of my favorite cards. I love the lightning bolt and the sun shining in the clouds. Beautiful. All the different seasons. Yes, exactly. Like feeling really good on your own, feeling very strong, feeling very confident. Under the deck is be spontaneous. So do something that maybe puts you out of your comfort zone or gets you kind of out of your funk, like heighten your vitality. Seek beauty, which I love. This is one of my favorite cards too. I love all the dandelions and the candles and just like looking for the good around you, like the kind of like that Nine of Pentacles too and the King of Cups, like being appreciative, feeling very like heart centered and grateful for what you have around you. Even if it's like not much or not what you want it to look like, you can still find the little things to be grateful for. Okay, a couple more. What do we need to know with this be in service? Love life. The basis of your question involves a romantic life, which is now changing for the better. Interesting. So, you may like your purpose may involve like a relationship or may involve your love life. And also maybe like just the things like because I was kind of speaking of that like in the beginning, like the things you learn from the relationships, especially like that have affected your love life. Like I know that if I would have continued with the same patterns and beliefs I had been raised with, like my relationship like path could have been so much different. But like teaching what you've learned from that maybe. Sorry, sometimes these readings are just as much for me as they are for anybody else. So what do we not what do you need to know with to amplify your positive emotions? Healing, healed, healer. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a little tongue tied and twisted. So it's just like I'm just getting like the same message, like amplify your positive emotions, like um, focus on your healing work, focus on where you need more healing. Because we're always, the path of healing is endless. We're going to be healing the rest of our lives. It's about growth. It's like another level. What about this Nine of Swords and trust your own understanding? Debt paid off. Interesting. I like that with the King of Pentacles too, because it's like, and this Nine of Swords, it could be like this fear of money or this fear of not enough. It's like this fear of lack. That's what I'm getting there. But I feel like this decision of like being true to your heart and following your King of Cups energy is what really opens you up to new opportunities that are based in like fulfillment, that are based in gratitude, that are based in abundant blessings. And like we had infinite blessings here, abundant blessings because it's coming from a place of service and it's coming from a place of love is what I'm getting. Instead of from a place of like how it looks or what it looks like to other people or like holding on or believing you don't have enough or there's never enough or you're not enough. Okay, what are we not saying clear with the lovers and infinite blessings? Perfect timing. This is the right time for you to move forward. Yeah, it's the right time to, like, because the lovers could always represent making choices to or making a decision and making a decision to, like, align with love, making a decision to act from love. And it feels like, in the perfect timing. It feels pretty self explanatory. What about this renewal of peace and Knight of Swords? Ask for what you want. Let the universe and other people know what you need. So yeah, because this could be about communication too, like learning to communicate your needs, especially in a relationship, is really important. So as you begin to know what it is you need, you can communicate your needs more clearly. So it's like maybe taking this time of like because this renewal of peace, like taking a step back and focusing on what you do need and giving it to yourself, and then being able to communicate what it is that you need from others, maybe. Okay, what about heighten your vitality in the Four of Pentacles? Business venture. Interesting. Trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. I like that. So, especially with heighten your vitality and this energy of Four of Pentacles, because it's like maybe you're being asked to go in a new direction, but it's like wanting to hold on to the past or wanting to control, because that's what the Four of Pentacles is. It's also about like control, like wanting to control how it looks, wanting to control, especially your finances, wanting to control how your finances are look, wanting to have a very like strict, rigid plan instead of being very open. Because like we were going back to the Seven of Cups and how everything can shift and change, like with every little decision. So you have to be very flexible. You have to be open. Yes, you have to be very like strong and firm in your own understanding and your own plan and what it is you want, but you have to be very like flexible because things can shift and change so frequently with different choices that are made. So it's like trust instead of like this is saying trust instead of holding on to the past, because that's the Four of Pentacles too. It's holding on to the past, holding on to past beliefs about money, about status, about image. What is your advice with the Five of Cups and the big picture? These want to come out together, they're kind of stuck. Do some research in autumn. So, and do some research says you need more information about the situation, look into it further before proceeding. And then with autumn, it says in the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvest of abundance. So seeing that from the bigger picture, as you do like what I'm getting this research is doing research on your own emotions. Why am I feeling this way? Where is this anger? Where is this sadness? Where is this grief coming from? Where is this sense of loss stemming from? And getting to your sense of your source of loss, and then seeing it from the higher picture with the King of Cups aspect of yourself and being very gentle with yourself, being very loving, being very kind towards yourself. And as you do that, you begin to feel more abundant. You begin to feel more grateful, especially with the Nine of Pentacles, and that's when you reap a bountiful harvest. Okay, what about the expansion in the King of Cups? Your desire is within reach. Have faith as everything is working in your favor. I love that with the King of Cups because the King of Cups is very faithful. He's just very, reliant on his intuition, which is beautiful. Like taking action from the heart, because the King is always taking action or like moving from that space, and so it's moving from the space of love, which is great. And what about your advice with empowerment and the Nine of Pentacles? Walk away, leave the unhealthy situation, and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. I don't feel like that could be more like clearer advice. So thank you, Spirit, for that. Like learning to walk away from anything that doesn't make you feel this way, like walking away and like feeling really good on your own. I really like that. And then let go is underneath the deck. Patience, please. You've got the power. And vegetarian. So especially because vegetarian, that could be helpful for heightening your vitality. And yeah, I'm feeling a lot of tension in the body, so maybe it's really important to like relax, meditate, do some yoga, do some stretching, maybe get a massage, self-massage. I self-massage quite frequently, actually. I just gave myself, I'm healing from a burn on my knuckle because I was rubbing my calves with my knuckles, and I gave myself a burn. But it felt so good. So self-massage was great. And it also helps you, like, if you're seeking a relationship. We have, like, the lovers here. It's like, and being in a relationship, like I was speaking, like, you want to treat yourself how you want your partner to treat you. So, someday I hope that my partner gives me a nice massage. And so I practice doing it for myself so that I can also someday, give my future partner a massage and just treat them how I would like to be treated as a way to teach them how to treat me. And so just like expecting it and then like not speaking up and saying when you need it and then being resentful for it. How you learn how to meet your own needs. So like sometimes I know I need a massage and I'm not just going to wait and be sad that I don't have anyone else to give me a massage. I'm just going to do it for myself. And that's kind of totally being like this. This is like being like self-reliant. Like sometimes it's not, this could be related to finances, those two as well, because it's a material realm, but it's also like towards your body. Like I'm always such a big like advocate for that because I was so disrespectful to my body, I guess. Maybe that's why. And a huge part of my lesson is learning how to respect myself so that people would respect me. Because I used to let myself get walked over all the time, or I was easily emotionally manipulated. So it's nice now to not be able to like be manipulated psychologically or emotionally because I just know who I am. It's a very freeing feeling. All right, one last message, Spirit. Oh, I really like this card. This is Riding the Cosmic Wave. It's just beautiful. So like, I don't know, it's just beautiful. I don't know if you can see it as well there, but okay. You can be carried further by the cosmic wave than by your own efforts. Where you are going cannot be attained by effort. The effort, the discipline, prepares us for the leap. But after the leap, we are no longer sustained by our efforts, but by forces greater than us, the forces of love itself. Yes, you are stepping towards the edge, preparing to leap and let the cosmic wave of love carry you forward. You shall be moved through grace into a new world awaiting you. That's beautiful. This oracle brings a message. There is a time to work hard and a time to allow the fruits of one's labor to manifest, when one may be carried by forces set in motion, by the energy of life itself. You can let go and move further, reach farther with less effort. Now is the time to give yourself permission to stop paddling and instead just ride the wave, give in, let go, and be moved. Your spirit flies like the wind, warms like the sun, and watches like the sky, how lies the earth waiting for the moment to be touched. Oh, that was beautiful. That was a perfect, sweet little message. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'm sending so much love.